And good Tuesday morning. Welcome to episode 39 of the Inside Drive podcast. Back-to-back shows with Coach Jay Henley in the studio with us. I don't know what I did, but to get that kind of a reward this week, I am excited. Of course, got to talk about our sponsors. I've got Juices and Sunsets right here in studio with me, the bottle. We're going to have one of the partners, one of the owners of Juices and Sunsets, hopefully come on in the next few weeks. The one I've got this morning, Jay, is the Orange Oasis. It's oranges, carrots, pineapple, lemon, ginger, and turmeric. Ginger and turmeric can certainly make things spicy, but those are two great things for you. And then, of course, Golf Plus. Golfers who want to improve their score, Golf Plus is the place to be in Northwest Florida with the tools and expertise to help you. Their shop is filled with every golf brand you could possibly want, and the repair shop, second to none. Fast tour van quality repairs every time. Golf Plus has been featured in both Golf Digest and Golf Magazine as top club fitters in the country. They can help maximize your potential with their fitting simulator and carts. Don't have time to book a real round of golf? Bad weather, like the other day? Book a round on one of their two simulators. Their newly renovated golf shop is your go-to for club fittings, repairs, and retail. They are located in the shops at Edgewater next to Firefly. You can give them a call at 850-249-2726 or visit them and book online at golfplusretail.com. Jay?
Yes, sir.
I know I already asked you this, but you didn't see a whole lot of the national championship last night, huh?
I did till like the third quarter, and then I went night-night.
I'm sure none of us are surprised, though, that you didn't make it to the end of that game. Certainly a wonderful end of the game. Before we dive into that a little bit, tell us a little bit about the Chrome Dome, or whatever we're going to call it.
I was looking at that, so I'm still looking for a name.
Yes,
and,
if anybody's got a good name check out Golf with Jay on Facebook, and you'll see the video reel, whatever we're calling them, of the setup of his simulator, his mobile golf simulator, which is like a bounce house on steroids. It's got the simulator, it's got the screen, it's got the mat, and it's got protection all around inside that sweet dome.
Somebody said Albatross Dome, the Big Birdie, the Nut Hut. I don't know.
That's probably will be confusing with the SEOs. That might get you to places that you don't want to be online.
Yeah.
Now, what are you currently going to be calling it?
I mean, right now, Jay's Shank Tank is what I have, but we've talked about it. You think it's a little negative, and it can be.
I mean, it's just, that's one of those words in golf that you don't like to ever say out loud because of the jinx that it could possibly give you.
But it's not real golf, though. It's simulator golf.
But you don't want to be shanking in simulator golf either, so.
Yeah.
If anybody's got a good idea for Jay's new mobile simulator, not the entire thing, but the name of the actual blow-up that gets blown up so you can hit golf balls inside it while everyone is safe.
Yeah.
Let us know. You can comment on this post or just reach out to Jay, golfwithjay.com, of course. I'll think a little bit more, too, as well. The Shank Tank is catchy because it's a great rhyme. It's got that alliteration. But I just don't know if you can use shank with golf when you're
It's a bad word.
It is a bad word, that's for sure.
It's a bad word. When's the last time you had a little hosel rocket there, Mulv Dog? Mine was like 2 days ago.
But you actually play golf and do all that stuff. Probably the last time or two that I played, there's always one or two that maybe slips in there.
Yeah.
So maybe if you have the shanks, you need to go to the Shank Tank.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a good one. I like.
So maybe you can flip that negativity around to some positivity.
Yeah.
In the Shank Tank. But what can you do with the with golfwithjays.com new mobile simulator?
Anything and everywhere. I mean, you can birthday parties, weddings,
and
corporate events.
You've got some bookings so far, right?
Yeah, private party downtown Panama City, February 11th, 4 to 6.
Private party.
Private party. And then I will do a private party in Port St. Joe, February 27th. I will be set up at Country Oaks Golf Course, March 11th. That's during Sawgrass weekend. We're going to set up hole 17 that weekend in Thomasville, Georgia. And then, I'm really looking to set something up with Masters Week. If there's somebody out there that wants to host a Masters watch party that has the space available to put the Shank Tank.
Because you can play Augusta National on your simulator, right?
Yeah, I mean, talk about an interactive a little Masters watch party.
Yeah. You just need to find somebody that, somewhere around here that can be open to the public, too, where people can just come out and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, food trucks. I mean, if there's a slew of food trucks maybe hanging out, I'll be glad to come and set that up as well. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll just see. This year for the Shank Tank, the possibilities are endless. We'll see what happens.
The possibilities are endless. Somebody reach out to Jay, give him a place to set up his mobile simulator so we can all check it out. I just want to check it out. I haven't seen it yet in person. I'm looking forward to seeing somewhere where maybe they'll let you set it up just for some people to walk up and try it out. Maybe do they still do the food truck festival here?
I don't know. Over at
Aaron Besant?
And Papa Joe's. I want to say there's a place over there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a good spot to set up for sure.
Dude, this thing you can throw footballs in this thing, man. You can do anything.
So you got the software that has like the football, the baseball, the soccer, all that stuff?
No, so what I have is GS Pro, and that is I think it's the elite of elite as far as just how real it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if TGL's using GS Pro. I'm sure there's some sort of version to it that TGL. I know they're playing again tonight.
Yeah,
so that's
Tuesday
cool.
night. That's right, little TGL action.
Yeah,
that's starting to grow on me a little bit.
It is for me too, and they're doing a women's league next year. I don't know. They just announced that. Did you hear about?
I didn't, but that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a good idea. They announced who's going to be playing in it yet?
Not yet. I would think Nelly Corda would be one of them.
Your sister too.
Yeah.
Some of those other high-profile athletes.
Yeah.
Do want to, you just mentioned golf. So the PGA Tour had Chris Gotterup win that event over there in the Sony Open. Just like you said, you were going to have a guy that maybe not the biggest name out there, but certainly a name that if you paid attention at all to the PGA Tour last year, he was on that.
Yeah.
Did you see what Bryson DeChambeau is reportedly seeking from LIV for another 4 years to be on that contract? And I think he's doing a smart job. He's leveraging, this whole new PGA Tour comeback with this, with the paying them. We talked about it last Thursday, right? With all the stipulations you have to do to come back to the PGA Tour. So I think it's smart on him. He's leveraging that. But Bryson DeChambeau is reportedly seeking an amount of at least $500 million to remain with the LIV Golf Tour for another 4 years beyond his current contract, which expires at the end of this year. To put that number in perspective, Jay, once accounting for the prize money he will win from tournaments each year and not including endorsements, he will be earning more than Lionel Messi, LeBron James, Shohei Ohtani, Dak Prescott, and that is the top 10 highest paid, and more than the top 10 highest paid tennis players combined. In fact, he will be the only athlete in the world who will be paid more than Cristiano Ronaldo if that contract certainly goes through. What do you think about him asking to do something like that?
That's a lot of money. I mean, it just depends if you're trying to chase the victories of, whatever happened to Jack Nicklaus's 18 majors. That's out the door with these guys. And, you look at Scotty Scheffler, and Scotty Scheffler's basically, going to play 20 events this year at tops. And
win 10 of them probably.
Probably, yeah. Even this weekend, most likely. I think it's 1 in 300.
Yeah.
That the odds are for Scheffler. But, yeah, I mean, whatever happened to that, at this point, it's just all about the money. And unfortunately, I don't like it. I really don't. Do you?
No, but I think, as he's probably one of the only guys that can ask for this because of the popularity he's gained. Obviously won the U.S. Open, what was that, 2 years ago? Mm-hmm. And then now he does all that YouTube stuff and all that. So I think he's become so popular that he's trying to leverage all that and kind of play the PGA Tour and the LIV Tour against one another. Because I'm sure they both obviously want him because people will tune in specifically because of him.
Right.
So certainly it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. Did want to bring up something else as well. It's right around the corner. The first major of the year here in a couple months. Masters, they don't like you reselling their tickets.
Uh-oh.
SeatGeek pulls Masters tickets amid national resale crackdown. SeatGeek becomes the first major resale platform to stop listing Masters tickets following Augusta National's stricter enforcement of the no resale policy as sports leagues and venues move to rein in secondary markets. To be honest, I didn't even know SeatGeek was selling Masters tickets because I thought you could only get them from people that had them, but maybe they get a portion. You got all those corporate ones that are up and down Washington Road as well.
Yeah.
So SeatGeek halted selling tickets for the 2026 Masters tournament on Friday afternoon. The Masters landing page on SeatGeek now announces, bummer, there are no listings available. Other platforms such as StubHub still have badges available for purchase with prices for a 4-day pass as high as $16,129. What's crazy is that probably just the face value that if you win a badge or if you win a badge in the lottery, probably only going to cost you about $400 or $500. So that's why the Masters doesn't like that whole reselling thing, because people are making a lot of money off of what the Masters offers. So pretty crazy, but I think that'll be one of many.
When you're tied, I guess, if you either have badge tickets yearly or you won them through the lottery, that ticket is tied to your address and
to you.
And if you have somebody go out and act a fool, Augusta National does not play around.
No, they don't.
You won't ever get a chance to go back. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is for certain. Do want to mention our American Charlie's Athlete of the Week. Shout out to American Charlie's. They're also located in the Edgewater Shopping Plaza right there next to Rocket Lanes and Firefly. They have great daily specials, private rooms available for parties, 13 TVs for all your college and NFL games. It'd be a good spot to set up your mobile golf simulator.
What's that?
Have you been to American Charlie's?
Yeah.
You know how it's got right there next to Nouveau Brewery used to be there a long time ago, and it's got that big open concrete area right out in front.
Yeah.
You that would be a great spot to set up there. I don't know who you'd have to talk to set up there, but that'd be a cool spot to set up for sure. Catching people coming and going from wherever they might be.
Give me 110 volt electricity and we good to go.
You're ready to rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they also have 15 TVs for all your college and NFL games. My favorite part, military and first responder discounts every day. All your American favorites, fried chicken, pot roast specials, wings, burgers, shrimp, all those American classic dishes. Can't make it in? Order off DoorDash is available now. They're also doing Make Mondays Great Again, which is a happy hour from 2 to 6 p.m. And they just introduced the Early Eagle menu. That's 4 to 6 p.m. daily. They got, I think, 4 or 5 different specials for just $14. You can visit them at AmericanCharlies.com or check them out on Facebook. Just search up American Charlie's Grill or Tavern or follow our Facebook page. I share stuff from them all the time. But our American Charlie's Athlete of the Week this week is Freeport Freshman. And I may butcher her name. I told ChatGPT to tell me how to say it. It's Utai Dahl. She had 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 13 blocks in a win over North Bay Haven last week on the 13th in a 71-63 victory. Utai Dahl is 6'8", 220 pounds. And like I said, she had 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 13 blocks. Remember that name, Jay.
Say that again.
6'8", 220. She's a freshman in high school.
What?
Her dad was 7'3", and her mom was 6'1".
Oh, my God.
So remember that name.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me earlier that Shaq had reached out to her as well.
That's
because
awesome.
She's kind of becoming a national phenomenon right here in our own backyard up there in Freeport. So kudos to her. Obviously, she's got a little bit of a height advantage out there on the court, but you still got to get the ball in the hoop. But 6'8" at a freshman in high school and a girl nonetheless. It's pretty incredible stuff. Genes are real, Jay.
Yeah.
Genes are real. Before we talk about do you even know who won the national championship?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
I
good.
put a little bet on Indiana, so I'm happy this morning.
Did you lay the points?
I'm trying to think. What did I do? I just took Indiana for the win and went over on the 46.5. So
Nice.
I think it was 48. Was it 48 that total points? 27-21.
Yep, that'd be 48.
Yep.
48 all day.
Yep.
But yeah, some of the comparisons from the team statistics, Indiana just was a little bit more efficient. Miami only went 3 for 11 on first down. Indiana went 6 for 12 on the fourth down efficiency. Both teams were 100%. Miami was 1 for 1, and Indiana was 2 for 2. Total yards were pretty close. Miami actually had more total yards. The time of possession was the big difference. Indiana had 36 minutes and 24 seconds to Miami's 23 minutes and 36 seconds. That was a big part of the game. I thought Miami did a great job of kind of holding their own on defense in comparison to what Oregon and Alabama weren't able to do.
Right.
This was the closest game that Indiana had played besides the Big Ten championship, where Ohio State only lost by 3. But it was a pretty exciting game. It's kind of all you could want out of a national championship. First half was all Indiana. They scored first with a field goal and then scored that touchdown on the nice touchdown run there by their running back on it. Their drives were just so long and so time consuming. Their field goal drive was 12 plays, 55 yards. Their touchdown drive was 14 plays, 85 yards. And then kind of early in the third quarter, you got that nice touchdown run by Mark Fletcher Jr., kind of a little zone power to the outside. And it was a 57-yard touchdown run to get Miami within 3. And then kind of the big play, the momentum play that, kind of gave Indiana the buffer that they needed. You probably didn't see it because you said you watched through the third quarter.
Yeah.
Did you see the blocked punt?
I did.
Miami got pinned down deep on a great punt from Indiana, and then they blocked the punt after they couldn't get the first down. That was huge, putting Indiana up by 10 points at that point. And then Fletcher had another short touchdown run just a little outside and dropped it right in there to get them back within 3. But then Mendoza kind of put the team on his back, showing why he was the Heisman Trophy winner and one of the best players in college football this year. In the fourth quarter alone, Jay, he converted a 4th and 5. That was that touchdown run that he dove into the end zone, was pretty spectacular. Converted a 4th and 4, a 3rd and 4, and a 3rd and 7. The moment was never too big for him. He helped obviously lead his team to its first ever national championship. 16-0. Last team to do that, Jay, who's the last team to go 16-0 and win the national championship?
I think I heard this. I want to say it was Yale in 1894.
Correct.
Yeah.
1894. What is that? 26 plus 6. 132 years ago.
Yikes.
But now, obviously, with all these playoff games, the season's a lot longer than it certainly used to be. But kudos to Indiana. Just 2 years ago, I believe they were 3-9. College football's losingest program. 2 years later, they win the national championship, and I think Cignetti's gone, obviously 16-0 this year. I think they were 9-3 or something like that last year. So his record obviously speaks for itself. And like I posted on Facebook this morning, it was a mere 3 years ago that he was playing against Coastal Carolina in the Sun Belt Conference. So, hey, kudos for the previous coach in the Sun Belt Conference. He took a lot of guys with him too from that JMU team in the Sun Belt Conference. So you could say the Sun Belt builds champions.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on Indiana winning its first ever national championship? I believe becoming the 3rd Big Ten team to have maybe the 4th, to have a championship in basketball and a championship in football. I believe Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State might be the other 3 teams.
Crazy. I did see. I don't know. Here's what I got humor out of last night was seeing Cignetti's facial expressions
or lack thereof.
But he's pretty intense.
He is an intense guy, and I think that's why the team's really, his teammates or his team really buys into what he is doing.
I thought Cristobal was intense, but I think he's more intense than him.
There's 2 types of coaches, right? The one that's just very quiet,
yeah,
and I don't know what you call that kind of stuff. And then of course you've got your loud, excited coach as well. Who would you rather play for, a loud, excited, or kind of the Cignetti aspect of it?
Probably Cignetti.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I think I'm the opposite.
Really?
I think I'd because I think I thrive more when I'm like that as well. So
yeah,
I think I'd rather play for somebody like that.
But, I've seen you. I've seen you in that zone. I like it.
I'm gonna need to be in that zone tonight, but we'll see what happens. These juices are so good.
Yeah,
they got these little ginger shots too, which is just a tiny little one of like pure ginger mixed with juice. They're so spicy, but it gives you kind of that little kick.
Yeah.
Going forward. I know we got to get Keith on the line here in about 10 minutes, talk a little NFL action as we had a pretty exciting divisional round weekend. Kind of a great weekend. You had Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all with big-time football. Obviously, I know my San Francisco 49ers didn't get it done, but it was going to come to an end at some point, and I just hope I'm kind of sad that it's the Rams and the Seahawks, our 2 biggest rivals there in the NFC West. So I'm going to have to pick who I want to win. I think I'd rather have the Rams win than the Seattle Seahawks. But yeah, I'll figure that out come next Sunday when both championship games will be on. I do want to talk about all the district tournaments have been released for boys and girls soccer. Still waiting for basketball to release their district tournaments. In the 5A District 2 tournament, Arnold is the number 1 seed in that and gets a bye. They will play the winner on the 22nd, which I believe is Thursday. That'll be the winner of Leon and Mosley. Childs and Lincoln, the 2 and 3 seeds, also have a bye, but they'll play each other on the 22nd as well. Winner of those 2 matchups will go on to the district championship. Arnold obviously looking to win another district championship. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sure it's been a while since they haven't won a district championship. But you need to win that district championship to make it, so when you go to the state tournament, that you get your home field all the way through. Because even if you're not the district championship, even if somebody's a higher seed or a lower seed than you are, they'll get the home field if they won their district tournament. So some important games coming up here for the Arnold Marlin boys soccer team as they're trying to go for their three-peat, which would be pretty spectacular. But they're going to need to start putting more balls in the back of the net. The reason I say that, we went to the game on Friday night against Fort Walton Beach, and I'm not even exaggerating. Arnold probably had 20 chances within probably 5 or 6 yards of the net and didn't score a goal. And then Fort Walton, they tied 0-0, and you would have thought Fort Walton Beach had just won the state championship with how excited they were to tie them. And I get that. When you're at the top, everybody wants to take you down.
Did you see that bus that Fort Walton Beach came in on? Like, jeez.
I did not.
Because, we had a basketball game at Arnold Friday night, and I saw that bus.
Was it a big old charter bus?
Heck yeah. I was like, what in the world?
Did it have Fort Walton Beach on it, or was it
No,
just like
but it looked like something you would take to L.A. from here. I mean, it was like a mega bus or something.
Well, you get those booster programs that give you some, the days when we were playing high school sports where you're riding a school bus seem to be long gone. All the middle school teams riding those school buses now. But, the days of, we used to have to put all our hockey bags, which were huge bags, in the back of the bus. And when you were, coming up, when you were the underclassman, you had to pack the bus, and you're standing back there just with the exhaust pouring in your face. It's kind of a rite of passage. You have to pack up the bus, and then you have to throw the bags off the bus as well.
I remember.
those were the good old days, I guess.
Yeah.
But you don't see any of these high school varsity teams riding around in school buses anymore. And maybe that's why maybe they should. Maybe they should. I don't know. I would imagine you still have to pay for that too, but I don't know how it works. But I do know a charter bus is probably significantly more expensive.
Yeah, we drove around in the golf team with a 1982 Chevy Astro van.
Sweet. We had the short bus, the short school bus.
Yeah,
that was our golf one.
Right. I remember that too. These kids, man,
they got it so good. They have no idea. Yeah, the short bus. I have some names that we called it, but I'm not gonna say them today. It's inappropriate.
Well, it's like what did mom? What did all the older people say back in the day? Make sure that you leave the next generation better, better off.
Better than
hands down, man. They got it all. They got it all.
When you were coaching golf with Bay and Arnold, how did they get to the matches? And the practices, they drive themselves, or their parents drive them?
Man, I took responsibility all off of me, and I was like, y'all sign this, and y'all just get to the match. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want no responsibility. Now, when we went to district, that was a whole different story where we had to go to Lake City, and
didn't you drive a van or something?
I did, yeah. So, but only 2 or 3 participated. Everybody else kind of like came with their family or whatever. But at least there was a team bus.
You had to provide transportation for those who couldn't or didn't have it.
Right. So
that had to be fun. Just stop at Busy Bee or something like that.
Oh yeah. We stopped 2 or 3 stops. I want to say, but. You got to watch, with Life 360, 5, or whatever. Is it Life 360?
Yeah, it's Life 360.
You got to, you got to make sure you're driving the speed limit and, they ain't no, you can't drive 90 miles an hour. So.
Or what'll happen? You get in trouble?
Huh?
You get in trouble?
Well, yeah, because parents have that, they can screenshot that and be like, Coach Jay's driving 95 miles an hour, which I wouldn't dare do, but,
I don't know if those fans would go that fast either.
Right. Oh, shoot. Yeah. What an experience, though, to be I never thought I'd been a golf coach. That's greatness.
It's funny how it all works out.
Yeah.
Couple more district tournaments to get to real quick. The Arnold girls soccer team ended up being the number 4 seed. They will take on Lincoln. I believe that is, what's today's date, Jay?
Today's the 20th.
So that is tonight coming up at 6 p.m. That is at Lincoln. The winner of that game will face Childs, who's the number 1 seed in the girls 5A District 2.
Every time you say Lincoln, I think of Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
That was their That was their high school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mosley was the number 2 seed. Lincoln is the number 3 seed. They'll play each other on Thursday. The winner of those 2 matchups will go on to the district championship. Moving on quickly, in the 4A District 1 boys soccer tournament, Fort Walton Beach, after that tie against Arnold the other night, is the number 1 seed. They'll play the winner of West Florida and Rickards. That is tonight. And then Wakulla has a bye as well as the number 2 seed. And then Bay High and Godby will play as the 3 and 6 seeds. Winner of that game, like I said, will take on Wakulla. And then the winner of those 2 semifinal games will go on to the district championship next week, the 27th, which I believe is a Wednesday, but I could be wrong because I'm wrong all the time. And then the 3A District 1 girls soccer tournament, This is girls. No, this is boys. 3A District 1. South Walton is the number 1 seed. They have a bye. Then Freeport and Walton play each other. South Walton plays the winner of those two teams. Destin is the number 2 seed. Bozeman, the number 7 seed. They will travel to Destin. And then you have Pensacola Catholic and Pensacola playing each other to see who will play the winner of Destin and Bozeman. South Walton will play the winner of Freeport and Walton. Winner of those two games goes on to the district championship. And then on the girls' side of things, on the 3A District 1, South Walton's the number 1 seed in that one as well. Walton and Destin play each other. They'll go on to play South Walton in the semifinal game. Pensacola Catholic, number 2 seed. Bozeman, the number 6 seed. They play Freeport. Winner of that game goes to take on Pensacola Catholic and plays all the way through. You can find all these brackets on Max Prep Sports. I don't know what this one is because it went away. Time is it, Jay? We got a couple more minutes. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Let's see which one I got here. And then the 3A District 2. I tried to get the teams right in our direct area with the teams here in Bay County because a lot of them are outside of Bay County as well, but they're in these. Rutherford and North Bay Haven are in this one. 3A District 2. North Bay Haven, the boys had a great season. They're the number 1 seed in the district tournament. Rutherford, the number 4 seed. They play tonight against Gadsden County. Swanee is the number 2 seed. They'll have a bye into the semifinals, where they'll take on Florida State University High School in the semifinal match. North Bay Haven awaits the winner of Rutherford and Gaston County. That'll be at Rutherford, actually. I believe that'll be at the Margaret Champlain Field. Winner of that game goes on to take on North Bay Haven. And then last but not least, 3A District 2 girls soccer tournament. Florida State University High School is the number 1 seed in that. Rutherford, the number 4 seed as well. In this, on the girls' side, they will as well play Gadsden County, the number 5 seed. I believe that'll be a home game as well. And then the winner of that game will take on Florida State University High School. North Bay Haven is the number 2 seed. Swanee is the number 3 seed. They both have byes, so they play in the semifinal coming up on Thursday. Winner of those two semifinals will go on to play in the district championship. So we're already to the postseason now, boys and girls soccer. As soon as the district tournaments are put up for basketball, we'll go over those as well. I'm hoping to have those by Thursday so we can talk about them on Thursday. Also on Thursday, I'm excited to have the two Esch brothers. They'll be coaching the Arnold Marlins girls flag football team, as girls flag football was approved a couple years ago to come here to Bay County. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it's Mosley, Bay, and Arnold. All three of those schools will have girls flag football. And speaking of that, it just keeps getting bigger above just the local level here. Nebraska becomes the first NCAA Power 4 team to add women's flag football. So the flag football sport just keeps getting bigger and bigger, Jay. It was added to the Olympics. More universities are adopting it. It's a sport, but the NCAA still got to push it through to become a fully official sport. But
I think pillow fighting should be one. I really do. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Give me a reason.
Well, there already is a championship in pillow fighting. So.
Unlike the Ocho?
Yeah.
I saw, speaking of the Ocho, I saw on the Ocho the other day, it was the worldwide putting championships where they play like indoors on like putting courses and stuff.
That's cool.
Stuff like that. It's like, that's something I could do, but I don't even know where you would go to start. Putting's always been one of my strong suits.
Man, right here in Panama City.
That'd be good.
Shoot.
We just got to have an indoor venue to set them up. I know the sports park will have a nice indoor venue here shortly. Real quick, before we get Keith on the line, we'll take a quick break after I read my Panhandle Credit Union commercial. Panhandle Credit Union is all about quality relationships, whether it's donating to a community event, supporting your child's sports team. They're here in the community to help us out. Check out their great banking products, loans, savings and checking accounts, mortgages, HELOCs, HELoans. Whatever your needs are, Panhandle Credit Union can handle it. Visit any branch location or head online to panhandlecu.org. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to get Keith Fleming on the line. When we come back, we're going to talk a little NFL playoffs from this past weekend. And welcome back to the Inside Drive. Hanging out with Jay Henley today, as he can't make Thursday, but we'll have a great show lined up for you on Thursday. But as always, on Tuesdays, we got Keith Fleming joining us on the line. Keith, you got the pleasure of having Jay on the show today too with you. I know that's a rarity, so we got him back in the studio on a Tuesday, so you can talk to this fine gentleman right here.
It's like the good old days, Jay. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How about you, Keith?
Do you know about his new venture?
Yeah, oh yeah, I know all about it. I think that he's going to take over the world with his mobile teaching center.
No.
And Jello wrestling too. I heard he's going to bring that one into the mix.
Oh, all right.
What do you think about the name Shank Tank for it? I like the alliteration and the catchiness, but I don't like ever using that word in anything to do with golf. So we need to come up with a better catchy name for his little dome there.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't like
Jay,
Shank Tank. Huh?
What's your thoughts right now?
I mean, I'm good with whatever. I mean, Big Birdie's been talked about. What were some other ones? Albatross Dome.
I like a rhyming thing for sure.
Yeah. But Keith, get creative. I'm looking. I'm close to trying to get this nailed down. So
I will think of some. I have a buddy who's especially good at this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to reach out to Joe and see if he'll come up with some names as well. But I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
It's something that I think we're going to see more of. And it's just awesome that
He's a pioneer.
you can kind of go wherever to teach, which the flexibility is not only good for obviously you, but also for those that, want to learn golf.
yeah, and I mean, and from an entertainment standpoint, right? I think it'll bring a lot of entertainment, and that's what we're all about, right?
I'm pushing him.
You mean you'll bring the entertainment?
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
I'm pushing him to really use SEOs to get bachelorette parties to book it. That's a 2-for-1 for him. He could maybe find a date and also make some money at the same time. So we'll see if he pursues that at all. But Keith, big weekend last week. One of the best NFL weekends that everybody looks forward to. That was the Divisional Round weekend. I've already kind of had my sorrows about my Niners, but we kind of saw that coming at some point. Seattle is just so loaded, and just the good season or the perseverance had to come to an end at some point. But very much looking forward to next season. But I know there was some topics that you wanted to talk about. Let's dive into that.
Where do you want to start? You want to start with the Saturday games or the Sunday?
Let's start with Caleb Williams. I know you want to talk about him specifically.
I'm at a loss for words with him. I mean, you want to talk about, like, it's almost like Steph Curry when he first came to the NBA, right? Like, he started doing stuff we've never seen before. And, we talked on this show last week about how incredible the fourth down throw he made was and how it was one of the greatest throws I've ever seen.
And then he said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. And then he said, you know what, let's raise the stakes. I'll go ahead and make it fourth down. It's our last chance. I'm going to run 40, something. What was he? I think he threw it 50-something yards for a
14-yard touchdown pass that went 57 yards.
Yeah, so he just said, I'm going to just run straight back. And I've seen people saying it was lucky. Yes, there's luck involved in everything. But for him to make the throw he did
and to have that kind of
a tight end that was, I think, Cole Kmet's like 6'4", 6'5", who was on a 5'11" corner. Like, I don't know how lucky that is. That seems like, to me, he got the ball exactly where the matchup was, and just incredible. I'm at a loss for words with him, and him being connected with Ben Johnson, who is such a good, obviously coach now, we know that as well, but a great coordinator, somebody who has a really good offensive plan. I think the sky's the limit, and Chicago deserves it. They've never had a quarterback in the modern NFL that can, make them feel good about this franchise moving forward. I guess you could say Jay Cutler in the last couple of decades, but they have that guy now, and hopefully Ben Johnson learned from his experience, because if we're being honest, he kind of, I think, dropped the ball in that game with some of the questionable third and, fourth down plays that he ran where everybody and their grandmama knew they were going to run it.
Yep.
And when you have a quarterback like Caleb Williams, I don't know why you wouldn't do a, play action rollout, get him moving where he has the option to run or pass. But I'm not a coach, so I shouldn't be second guessing it. But it just, to me, it seemed like that he did the Rams some favors with, some of his play calling late.
And that the interception that, lo and behold, gave the Rams the game-winning field goal, that was not on Caleb Williams, in my opinion. If you go back and watch that play in detail, DJ Moore was supposed to run a deep in, and he basically, this is something when we're running routes in 7-on-7 in tackle football, you have to cut your route in the direction it's supposed to go, 90 degrees, and he kind of floated out there, and that allowed that safety to move up on the route and intercept the ball. So I put that on DJ more than I put on Caleb Williams because he played a spectacular
game. 2 of
game.
his 3 picks were, again, probably because the receiver did not run the route that he thought he did. And in the NFL, and I'm sure you're learning this, Ryan, with, Liam and all these QB camps, a lot of times they have to throw the ball before the receiver goes where, the route intends. And you have to trust that receiver to run the correct route, and you put the ball in a certain place. And from everything that I have read and saw, 2 of those 3 picks were, again, on receivers not running the route the way it was intended.
Yeah, because you have to throw that ball to a spot that the receiver has to go get. And the fact that DJ Moore kind of lazily didn't cut that route 90 degrees and kind of floated out back towards where the safety was, that was 100% on DJ Moore. I'd be shocked if DJ Moore is on the Bears again come next year. Not because of that play, but basically because of his whole season.
And they got a lot of young talent at the receiver position.
No doubt.
I think Colston Loveland getting knocked out of the game late really hurt them.
Yeah,
I mean, he has been his go-to target most of the second half of the season, and you could tell like the Bears offense just didn't look as good in that overtime as it had throughout the game. And I think that's why Caleb was running, which he didn't do the entire game, more in overtime.
Yep, for sure. For sure. All right, let's dive into the most controversial moment of the entire weekend. 2 games, both had a catch interception, quote unquote. One was called a catch, the other one was called an interception. What did you think about that, Keith? On the we'll start with the Bills game, where it certainly looked like the Bills receiver or Brandon Cooks had caught that ball. I mean, if you go back and look, there's a spot where his knee is down and you can see his hand on top of the ball and below the ball. By definition, he has the catch secured and his knee is down. And then, of course, in the Rams game as well, Davante Adams, very similar moment. His knee was down while he possessed it. That was called a catch. Now the Bears ripped it out afterwards. So just kind of weird that you had both scenarios almost identical. Now, the Rams-Bears catch with Davante Adams wasn't so similar because you didn't have the guy rolling off him afterwards. They basically just stripped the ball a little bit. Jay, you had a chance to look at the Brandon Cooks catch with the Broncos and the Bills. What did you think?
He called it. I mean, there is no question about it.
And it was called an interception.
Yeah, and even by default, and I'm going back to 30 years of other.
You always go back.
Yeah, I know, but look, tie goes to the runner. Offense wins in those type situations, and I don't know what's going on today in this new world, but anyways, that's my thought on it.
Yeah, you start looking at a lot of these crazy stuff that happens now with calls, and you hate to ever have the refs determine the game. That gets me to the point that I know you want to talk about, Keith. Josh Allen just having incredibly bad luck in his world right now. What do you think?
It looked like a catch to me. It was really disheartening to see they didn't review it. That was, I think, my biggest complaint is you can't take an extra few minutes to make sure the call was correct. I mean, Buffalo's coach even called a timeout, pleading with the refs, can we review this? Because he can't challenge it in overtime. Like, all challenges have to be, reviewed by the booth. They have to actually make the call whether or not they'll review it. And it's just the latest in a long line of just tough breaks for Josh Allen. And I know at times that some people, and rightfully so, say that, we're making excuses for Josh Allen, that we don't give to Lamar Jackson and some of these other quarterbacks who have also had some really bad breaks. I mean, we saw Lamar last year, right? Like with
Yep.
Mark Andrews, we've talked about it. Like they've had some, but I was one of those people defending Lamar Jackson last year that it was not his fault he lost that game. And, obviously Josh needs to protect the ball better, but just to lose that way and to see him, crying at the podium, it was just tough. And the real person who should be blamed, in my opinion, for this is the GM who I'm at a loss for words for the fact that they fired the coach, not only kept the GM, they actually technically gave him a more power and a new title when he is the guy that, has basically forced the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen to be throwing to Brandon Cooks and, guys that are definitely not star receivers. And it's just so hard to win when you don't have that guy. So I read today that there's rumors that they may go after A.J. Brown. I know that Josh Allen, even with some people calling Brown a headache, would be probably doing, cartwheels and stuff if he found out he was going to have A.J. Brown to throw to next year.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. But I agree with you. The GM has just done a poor job. Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. I think everybody can agree on that. And to not get him any help down the field with route runners and people who can go deep and catch the ball for him is just kind of doing a disservice to how much talent Josh Allen certainly has. On the flip side of Josh Allen being very unlucky, you think this particular NFL team is the NFL's luckiest team. I mean, I agree with you too. If you look at their schedule and look at the quarterbacks they've had to play in the playoffs, and that team we're talking about is the New England Patriots.
It's insane. And again, I don't want to dismiss them because I do think they're a good football team. I really do. But let's just go back to how they got Drake May. They were third in the class, in drafting, and they didn't make that decision as Drake May. Everybody knew that it was, going to be Williams, Daniels, May in some order. He falls to them at 3. They take him. Now, I think he's the best of the 3 quarterbacks, even as good as, I just talked about Caleb Williams can be. I mean, Drake May is just very talented. He's a very accurate quarterback. He has almost the exact same arm strength that, obviously Caleb Williams does. I worry about Daniels getting hurt. And that's the other big thing is like May and Williams both are just, bigger than Daniels,
Yep.
Not so slight. And that's going to obviously help them in their career because quarterbacks still take a beating. But this season, they get just the easiest schedule ever. And we're thinking, well, the AFC playoffs will show us what's what. He gets to play the Chargers, who have no offensive line, like none whatsoever. They win that game, scoring 19 points. It was never close. This week, Nico Collins is out. The Texans make a huge play right off the bat with probably their second favorite pass catcher, Dalton Schultz. Guess what? He's out. And then Woody Marks gets injured. It's been a fairly easy route. And then, oh, by the way, in the AFC title game, you're going to play the Broncos, who are starting Jared Stidham, Stidham's a good quarterback.
Yeah, he's not bad.
He's a serviceable backup for sure.
But you haven't
But
played
he hasn't
all
made a start in
season.
3 years.
Yep.
And he's got to start an AFC title game. I mean, you want to talk about lining it up for New England getting back to the Super Bowl. This has been just put on a platter for them.
Yep. Hey, those Auburn quarterbacks, they're powerhouses. What's pretty crazy is when Bo Nix was a freshman, Jarrett Stidham was still there, I believe, as a junior or a senior. And now, flash forward however many years that was, that Stidham's got to come in and play for Bo Nix, which is pretty nuts. But
It's
yeah,
wild. I want to give credit to Bo Nix real quick because I have been somebody who has doubted him since he was, going into the NFL draft. I said last year was smoke and mirrors, and I thought a lot of it was, Sean Payton's a really good coach. He found some schemes and stuff that worked for him, but defenses in that second season would figure it out, and he would struggle, and he just continues to show I'm an idiot. And he's a pretty good quarterback because his performance was incredible, and I feel so bad for him. I couldn't imagine you lead your team to the AFC title game and kind of a fluke injury, you break your ankle and you're not going to have a chance to see this all the way through this season.
Yep, tough pill to swallow there for sure for Bo Nix. But like you said, who knows? Maybe Jared Stidham can get them to a Super Bowl, and then he'd have to obviously start in that Super Bowl. Didn't the
10 years ago, Ryan, the Broncos made the Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, who at that time was washed. Let's just call it what it was. It's no disrespect to Peyton Manning, but he just couldn't throw the ball behind a really good defense. And I thought their defense was really good again, on Sunday. And it would, kind of be funny that if a decade later, with another quarterback that nobody would want in this situation, the Broncos win another Super Bowl.
But don't count the Broncos out, because Lance Harbor, Jonathan Moxon, that's a situation right there. I mean,
it's been a while, Jay, since we had a Varsity Blues reference, so I appreciate you bringing it back to the forefront. Hey, backup quarterbacks can win football games.
Anyways, all right, I'm done.
No, fine. Give me a look at him run that foot. Look at him dance with. Give me the football quote. You haven't done that.
Look at him dance with that football.
Thank you. It's been a while since I heard that, so I'm glad you brought it back. All right, let's finish with this, Keith. Obviously, the Seattle Seahawks look like the most dominant of the last four teams still left in the playoffs. Is Zach Charbonnet's knee injury that he's going to be out for the rest of the playoffs going to be a big factor in maybe not having Seattle's dominance be in the forefront, or can they survive with Kenneth Walker and whoever else their running back would be?
I mean, they can survive, but it definitely takes a hit. Kenneth Walker typically struggles in games that he has like more than 15 touches. There's a reason that they divided him. He's not nearly as good in the red zone breaking tackles as Zach Charbonnet. So that's going to be a little bit of an issue. But the big thing is Seattle's offensive line has played so well, I think, now for about the last 5-6 weeks. I mean, they've just basically given up, no sacks and very few pressures. And that's been a big deal. I am interested to see, though, like what happens if Sam Darnold has to throw it a lot, which we haven't seen yet.
Yep.
And I have a feeling that Matthew Stafford had one of his worst games in quite some time. I think we can all agree that on Sunday night. But he did, when they needed it the most, make one of the most difficult throws that, like, I know everybody's talking about the Caleb Williams throw, and rightfully so. But the throw that Stafford made to Adams, where he rolled to his right and threw an out to the left side of the field, that is so difficult to execute, especially to put it on the money like he did. I have a feeling that Stafford and the Rams are going to be ready. And I mean, I don't know if you saw where I tweeted out, the Rams have 9 guys on their offense that were 10th or better at their position this year per PFF. That is insane. And 10 of 11 are 14th or better. So they are a very talented team. I didn't realize how good their offensive line has been all year. And I think that you're going to see a battle of two teams that, played each other. I think the difference between the two games was 1 point. They almost had the exact same total yardage. It's going to be a very interesting match between two, heated rivals. Like they do not like each other in Seattle and Los Angeles.
It's going to be a heavyweight fight, and I am here for it. I'm just disappointed that the two teams in the NFC Championship, or maybe we should look at it as a positive, Ryan, that the two teams in the NFC Championship are both from the NFC West. And it's going to
I think it says more about, like, again, the job that Shanahan did this year with all the injuries and just the willpower of, the Niners team that they fought and got to that place. And, again, it's not like y'all had lost enough. Tongs gets injured in this game.
Another
CMC
Achilles
is just
tear.
like, goodness gracious.
Move the power plant, people. Move the power plant. I'm so sick of this. It's like year in and year out, and then this year obviously was a bad one. So hopefully next year we can stay healthy. But now we lost Robert Salah. He's gone to the Titans. So now we got to find another defensive coordinator. That just seems to be our revolving door defensive coordinator. I would have loved to see what Salah could have done this whole season.
Year two with all those guys.
With a healthy group of defenders. But, ifs and buts, candies and nuts, all that good stuff. Keith, we appreciate your time as always. Give me a pick for the Super Bowl now. Obviously, we'll be back Tuesday, but NFC Championship games and AFC Championship games coming up. Who comes out of those 2 games and goes to the Super Bowl?
Believe it or not, I'm going to go Denver versus the Rams in the Super Bowl. I think that the Broncos will find a way. Sean Payton,
Yep.
I've never liked him because of the New Orleans connection, but he is a really good football coach, and he continues to show that. And he seemed confident instead. There was almost like a smirk when he announced it and said, count us out if you want to.
Yep.
I think he's got something he wants to prove. And at the end of the day, I'll take the better quarterback. And I think Matthew Stafford's a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. But I would not be shocked if, either of the teams win both games on Sunday. Just sad that it's almost over. But, hey, that means golf's right around the corner, boys, which we love that.
Sir.
There you go. There you go. Keith, I appreciate your time. As always, enjoy watching the golf tournament and the championship games this weekend.
Happy birthday to my lovely wife, Brittany.
Happy birthday,
AKA
Brittany.
Bethany. And, guys, I love talking to you always. Jay, it's great to talk to you, buddy.
You too, Keith.
He was really chatty.
Yeah, I know, right? See you guys.
All right, Keith. Take care. Bye. You can take off your headphones now.
Okay, great.
If you want to, you can leave them on.
No,
we're in a tunnel.
good.
All right, real quick before we go today, I did want to mention some of the games coming up in high school sports coming up tonight, Tuesday. That's gonna throw me off all week. In girls basketball, you got Chipley at Jay. Chipley's 12-5. Jay is 14-4. That's a big game over there. Lincoln and Arnold. That is a district game in girls soccer. Arnold is hosting that particular game. And then Godby and Bay. Bay is hosting that game in boys soccer. Holmes County and Bluntstown in girls basketball. Holmes County's 13-6. Bluntstown's having a fantastic season at 15-2. In girls soccer, Freeport and Bozeman. I believe that's a district game as well. Girls basketball, Arnold is hosting Destin. 10-9 Destin, traveling to 9-8 Arnold. Boys basketball, you got Rutherford at Bozeman. Are you doing something for that one tonight?
Oh, yeah. I'll be working the concessions up there at Bozeman tonight. So
I'll drive out there just to buy something from you.
Please do. Please do.
And then Childs at Mosley in boys basketball. Mosley's 13-7, trying to get another win before the district tournaments get going. And then last but not least, in girls basketball, Mosley versus Walton. That'll be at Walton. That should be a dub there for Mosley. Walton's having a tough season on the girls' hardwood. And then we'll keep you posted. I know Wednesday we got some more district soccer games coming up. Hopefully after today, and it might be coming up on Thursday, that we'll have the district tournaments for the girls, or for the boys and girls basketball. And just like that, we are getting closer to track season, Jay.
Really?
I believe in swimming as well.
All right.
But appreciate everybody tuning in. Please do us a favor and go to our YouTube page, just Inside Drive Podcast, and click that subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook. You can check out our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Audible, all those places that you get your podcast, Amazon podcast, all those fun places. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you on Thursday. Again, on Thursday, we'll have both the coaches from the Arnold girls flag football team. We're talking a little bit about flag football and the growing sport that it is. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Take care.